y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we're about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
And it is Turn Up Tuesday. It's my turn.
Oh, Turn Up Tuesday, Bloody Happy Hour. We're doing a quickie, which is, what are we talking about today?
Actually, first, Manscaped's back on the map.
Y'all really
They
did
loved
it.
us so much.
You loved it. It smelled so good. I rubbed it all over my body while I was talking to you, and I think that's what really got you hooked.
And
I'm really grasping this microphone right
She
now.
is.
I'm really grasping it.
that code is still good, and it's not Christmas yet, so if you have more presents to get, go ahead, go to manscaped.com, put in the code BHH. Any and all of the things that you can purchase, you will get a 20% off discounts. And what else, Caroline?
Free shipping.
Anywhere in the whole universe.
Yep, even Quebec.
Marshall Applewhite.
What?
Not you.
Oh.
Because that's
Oh,
out of the
UFO.
universe. Yeah, he's on the UFO.
Who I saw
Anybody
him
else?
that one day.
Anybody else? Free shipping. All the things. The lawnmower. The
weed whacker,
Weed
the ball
whacker.
cream, and the ball deodorant,
All the
and the underwear, and the toner.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can use it on the performance package, the code. You can use the code on individual things.
Hey, take care of your man.
And your man.
And yourself.
Or if you're like me and you just went broke because your dog got sick, then you ain't buying nobody no Christmas presents.
Y'all, I thought Bloody Happy Hours gonna have to cancel
we
indefinitely.
We almost had to
Parker
cancel.
Is in the ER.
Parker's my little puppy. He's a little Yorkie. He's 4.5 pounds, and he got gastric wait, not gastric bypass. What's it called? Pancreatitis. I was thinking.
I was like, dogs have pancreases?
I don't know, but they're like, he ate fatty food, and I was like, I don't even have any food in my house, so I must have been. He just probably had too many treats.
Maybe too many treats.
But,
I just think dog food is shit. Like, it's going to kill the dog.
I'm going to have to start doing what you do and cook rice and chicken. But, he had been getting fat shamed recently.
Oh. Who's been shaming him? You?
No, that would be Casey.
Oh.
And her husband. She's, that's rude. But anyways, he's
on the mend?
He's on the mend.
Y'all, if you want Bloody Happy Hour to continue, please say a special prayer for Parker.
Mm-hmm. And, you can always Venmo.
So she could drink away she's so worried. You can buy us a round and we'll toast to Parker's recovery.
Yes.
She was like, do you want to come spend the night? This bitch was like, I don't know how to stay up. How late do you usually stay up?
I couldn't. I usually go to bed by 9, and I stayed up till 2 last night.
Yeah. I actually fell asleep before you. She was like, don't you want to come and spend the night and keep me company?
Wanted somebody else to smell his poop.
Yeah, I'm not a big dog person. But let's talk about, we got a couple of updates, and then I got some stories. So, Quinton
Simons, his remains were found.
Remember, that's the little boy
in one of our
Georgia.
cookies.
Was it Georgia? Yeah. Landfill? Georgia landfill?
Landfill. I don't remember if it was Georgia.
Florida, one of them. Mississippi. His mom was real sketchy. Mom's name was Lalani. They were looking for his remains in the landfill, and they have finally found them and identified them. They obviously knew what actual dumpster he would have been dumped in, so they knew about where he was going to be dumped. So they had to sift through, I think it was like 1.2 million pounds of trash to find him, and they found him and identified him. And so Mom is in jail. But then also sketchy grandma got some charges, right?
I saw that, but I didn't look
what the actual charges were.
Right.
Not like an accessory, but like lying or being shady. Is there a charge called being shady?
I think that's what it was. If there wasn't,
she's charged for being shady.
Chatham County. I don't know where that is.
Yeah. Well, it's
Okay.
it's fine. We're over it. But is there anything else with that? Dad is innocent.
Yeah, I
Like
guess.
he was excluded
Yep.
at the
Yep.
beginning. Anything for Ohio?
You
Idaho.
I do. Well, yes. So, recently they had the vigil, which they were like, oh, that killer's going to show up at the vigil.
Yes. Yeah.
And here's what's there's confusion in Idaho. It's
Okay.
confusion.
Is it confusion between Ohio and Idaho, like me?
Maybe. But so one of these news reporters interviewed with the lead prosecutor, and the lead prosecutor first said that that the residence was specifically targeted, and there was somebody who was targeted. So like very, very beginning, it was, oh, don't worry about
Yeah.
everybody's fine. And
Don't
then they're
panic.
like, oh, now maybe panic. And then they're like, we think it's targeted. And then they're like, it's not targeted. And then this prosecutor comes out and says, oh, it was targeted.
And it was a
then
person.
after that, they said there was miscommunication with us and the prosecutor, meaning, I guess, law enforcement and I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many different people
Yeah.
working on it that apparently they had this miscommunication, and now they're not sure that anyone is specifically targeted.
Oh. So it very well could happen again.
So then this former FBI lady that I follow on Twitter, she said that this is a serious backtrack, and it explains why they can't immediately identify a suspect, praying no serial killer.
I was watching maybe the Good Morning America.
Because you know what? Okay, so in September, somebody was riding their bike and brandished it, showed a knife to some people who were riding by. There.
Uh-huh.
This is all there at this campus. That was considered, not related. And then there was these people found a few miles down the road from where the murder happened, a squirrel with its head chopped off or whatever. But the reason that even mattered was because then a few weeks before, a mile down the road, was when they found that dog. Pam and Jim from The Office. It's Pam and Jim. That's the name of the dog owners. It was this Australian Australian Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
It had the whole body was skinned, except for the head and the tail. I think it was completely skinned.
I wonder if they were.
And
That's
so then
definitely a hunter.
That was, and they were like, it was determined that it wasn't animal activity. And they were just we let him out to go to the bathroom, and then we went to get him when we couldn't find him, and somebody had picked him up, skinned him, and then put him back. So it's
how close was that dog to where they live?
They said it was I think within a couple miles or a mile. It wasn't far, and it wasn't. It was pretty recent, within weeks.
Yeah.
So, and then they talked about the squirrel. So if you had somebody decapitate a squirrel, and then you have them skinning a dog, and then you have, so it's maybe they're building up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hoping that they have a lot more, and they're not, but I don't.
Yeah. Well, I did see on Good Morning America YouTube that they are talking to other counties looking for similar-ish. Of course, we would know if there's been another mass killing that, right? But could there have been something similar where maybe they are looking for certain patterns in a crime? So, in other words, could this be a work of a serial killer that has been going, or that's about to, right now, he's a mass killer. If he does it again, something similar, then that could put him in the category of a serial killer. So it sounds like they're bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, and at the vigil, Kaylee's dad said, he confirmed just by in his little speech he gave, he said that Madison and Kaylee were found dead in the same bed
together. Yeah,
together. So that was new.
They were their bestest friends.
Which, I mean, it was sweet that they grew up together,
went to college
together, and then died together. Oh my gosh! I mean, it's so.
Is there anything?
Oh, no. She's about to die. You think you have gastric bypass?
Do you have gastric bypass? Sorry, y'all. Go.
Dejanira Shub has been arrested. She gone to Mexico.
Is she in Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, she's been arrested by Mexican
was
authorities. According to the lead attorney.
Okay.
That's what he told me. Wow. Dejan.
You better start talking, Dejanay.
Because
Winter, I think you're next.
Winter next. And then the Delphi, they released that probable cause affidavit thing that basically said why they arrested him, which was that there was like a bullet that was found in between the two victims, and that its marks on the bullet matched a certain gun. And they had actually previously talked to Richard Allen, and because he had admitted being on the bridge at that time, and like whatever he was wearing kind of matched what they were looking for somebody to be wearing. And he said he had a gun. Forward. Well, because yes.
Good. I was wondering this whole time.
This was the very beginning, at the very, very beginning.
But did we know this, that they talked to him?
Well, no, because it was just like people who they were interviewing or talking to. And then he had said, I guess before they even gave him information that there was a bullet found, they maybe asked him about a certain type of gun, and apparently this certain type of gun that he used, that bullet came from that specific gun, and he said he's never let anybody borrow that gun, and he's the only one that's ever used that gun, and so that's kind of what they went on. But I've been hearing through the grapevine that that's really not strong evidence, and that's very easy to fight against. And then I found out just a while ago that in 2017, there was a clerical error, and the error was a misfiling by a civilian employee with the FBI. And basically, they like misfiled something of his information.
And that's how it got left out.
And it got left out. And because then they're saying this could have, like.
Oh, a long time ago?
Yes.
Oh.
They're saying in 2017 something was filed in the wrong file.
So they could have followed up on this a long time ago.
Yeah. So they could have had this information. This is just Yeah.
Wow, that hurts. That hurts.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Welcome to One Star Rewind, a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros Foes Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
What's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
The Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
The Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
So let's go to Virginia and California.
Okay.
And have I ever told you never trust anybody?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you ever, were you a Stone Cold Steve Austin fan? And at some point his logo was DTA, don't trust anybody.
No.
So, and that includes people we're supposed to trust. Teachers, nurses, teachers are sketch, nurses are sketch, and cops are sketch. So let's talk about the shitbag cop named Austin Edwards.
Okay.
He was employed by the sheriff's office in Virginia County. This mofo drove 2,200 miles to meet a girl he met online.
He's got the smashed face.
He's not cute at all, yeah. To meet a girl that he met online in Riverside, California. 2,200 miles to meet a girl that he met online, okay?
Wow.
Instead of, when he pulled up at in the neighborhood, he didn't park at her house. He parked at the neighbor's house. And this is the family of the Wynick, is who he was going to visit.
Mm-hmm.
Did I mention this girl was a teenage girl?
I don't think
So young and teenage that her name was not printed because she's a minor. This is a Wynick family home. And all we know is the police got 2 911 calls at the time. One was for a house fire, and one was a neighbor saw a young teen girl in distress while being forced to get in a car with an older man. Okay? This car was a Kia Soul. Red flag.
Is that what I was driving as my rent car?
No.
For no choice, with no choice of my own?
No. No. First of all, grown-ass man driving a Kia Soul is a red flag.
I don't even know what a Kia Soul is, but no.
Nobody needs to know. So, and then the house was on fire, right? So police show up, firefighters show up, the house is on fire. They find 3 bodies right when you walk in, like in the entryway. This is Cherie Wynick, 65 years old, Mark Wynick, 69 years old, and their daughter, Brooke Wynick, 38 years old. This is the mother and the grandparents of the teen that he
Was this like
is
the story
going to
you
visit.
just did? But, I mean, not really, but it's like grandma, grandpa, and kid.
Yeah. What story was that?
The
Oh,
Canada
yeah.
one. And, yeah.
So, so this is grandma and grandpa, and then it's their daughter, and their daughter is the mom of the teen who this cop is going to go see. Okay, so they were all victims of homicide, and I couldn't find how they were killed. I'm going to assume because he was a cop, shot. And then he set the house on fire, right? So They find out the type of car that he's driving, and the police find him, and he leads them on a chase, right? While he is, it's like a movie. While he is driving, fleeing the police, he is also shooting at them and at the SWAT.
What? What's this guy's name?
Austin Edwards. He's
Okay.
so ugly.
Okay.
He lost control of his shitty Kia, went off the road, and when he got out, it was like off. Look, Queen Latifah offset it off. Isn't he horrible?
Yes, I thought he had a smashed fucking face, but he looked like Queen Latifah on set.
No, it was like Queen Latifah offset it off, where she got out the car and she points the guns at the cops and at the helicopters. So it's he basically suicide by cop, because he knew when he was pointing the gun at them that they would shoot him. So they shot him. He was pronounced dead at the scene. No cops were injured, and the teen victim was rescued and placed in protective custody. They met online because he was catfishing her.
Oh, what a
She
shot.
probably thought she was talking to a young,
It's like
beautiful
Keegan-Kline.
little boy, high school maybe boy, and whether she told him her address or whether, because he's a cop, he looked it up. Either way, she did not engage these conversations thinking anything like this would ever happen, right? She is now in the custody of Department of Social Services, because her family is gone.
Oh,
I mean, 3 people lost their life, right? But
did this guy die? Did you say?
Yeah.
He was shot after the chase.
Queen Latifah'd it from set it off,
Yeah.
and then got killed by the cops.
Does he even have teeth?
This little girl, has to live the rest of her life knowing that she was catfished, and her grandma, grandpa, and her mom are now dead as a result of it. Hopefully.
I mean, that's a far way. It's like,
he drove 2,200 miles.
I know. And so I'm like, how far is that? If you're going from Virginia, that's on the east. And then you're
on the
going
other
all
side
way
of the
to
country.
west. That's like Brian Laundrie driving across.
Yes. So, and then my thing is, like, a police department let him be a part of their department. He was a sheriff deputy.
What does even that mean? What does that even mean?
A sheriff deputy, I think, is usually like in rural counties.
Well, in my story that I'm telling on Thursday, some of these people wanted to become a deputies, and they didn't have to do that much work.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what's a sheriff deputy or a deputy. Is it like a certain office? Maybe we need to ask.
I don't know.
Agent.
I don't know. You should have researched it if it's part of your story, and you could tell me.
Wasn't trying to.
Is that what 3-Star was talking about? Basic little facts we don't know, because we're always like,
no, it's
what
talking
is
about
this?
because I interrupted you, which I just did a while ago.
Okay, so listen, we can't do it all, y'all.
I mean,
So
we're
there's that
spitting
story.
facts at you right now with all these stories, so you're welcome.
That story caught my eye.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it a lot.
Another story that caught my eye is this local story here in Texas, in Houston. A guy named Delano Burkes. He's a former football player. A&M, wasn't it?
Yep.
A&M football player. He, unlike Austin Lee Edwards, is beautiful. He was a real estate investor. He was married to a girl named Autumn, I believe her name was. And he was just hanging out in Houston Heights at bar hopping, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was last seen when he was escorted out of McIntyre's bar. So H-Town people, you probably know what this is. McIntyre's bar, obviously inebriated.
Yeah.
And then I read some of the comments that he accidentally walked into the women's bathroom, whether he was drunk or whether he didn't pay attention, and supposedly that's why he was escorted out. His friends left him that night. It's going to bring up some Shanquella Robinson vibes. Left him that night in his car. So they were driving Delano's car, maybe because he was drunk, but they left him. And he was not seen, and he went missing for 13 days. Family was handing out flyers. Questions everywhere. It was all over the news. He was finally found a couple days ago in the port of Houston by tugboat workers in the water. He was obviously dead.
But
they have not suspected foul play yet, but there has not been an autopsy. EquiSearch, Tim Miller with EquiSearch aided in the search and was the party who found him.
But he had been spotted a couple of times,
on camera.
Looking. I saw the camera one, but they even saw. Did you see that? I even saw one before that. Just talking about how he was, spotted looking, just kind of not off, but not delusional. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah.
But he was just walking crazy, kind of like in that video.
Family thinks that he might have been drugged because the video that he was walking, Mom says it looks like he doesn't have fully control of his legs. So they don't know if he was drugged or if he was that drunk. We just don't know much at all.
But was that video from that night?
That was that night, yeah. After that night and after that video was later on that night. Now, I also saw that friends, I'm going to put friends in air quotes, because friends said that he needed to pee. He went into McIntyre's to pee, got kicked out. He went somewhere else to pee, and he never came back, so they just left. Left him in his car knowing he was that
They drove
drunk.
his car and left him.
Left him. And then he was missing for 13 days. Listen, let me tell you what a friend is. My bachelorette party, I was drunk. And it was 0 o'clock. We hadn't even got to do anything, right? My friends, shout out to Crystal, helped me to the bathroom, wiped my vajayjay for me, pulled my pants back up, and laid me in the bed. I was like, "Oh, Crystal, you didn't have to wipe my vajayjay. I could have shook or something."
Yeah.
She was like, "You couldn't have shook."
No. Let me tell you what
Listen,
a friend isn't.
that's a good friend.
Let me tell you what a friend isn't. When you're going to somebody's wedding shower and they're your sister, and sorry if you're the one getting married and I'm the one who decided that I was going to get way too drunk and hug in the toilet, I had to get into the bathtub with no clothes on and just have an inch of water. And I'm like, come help. And they walk in and I was like, I need help. And she's like, bitch, no. And goes out and goes to the other room and leaves me all alone.
Whose shower is it? Whose shower is it? Your shower or her shower?
No, it was Alex's wedding.
Uh-huh.
It was the day before her wedding.
Uh-huh.
And
you got drunk.
Tequila. And a little bit of a, what do you call it? A dab pen?
Dab pen?
Weed pen?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well.
But that's what a friend does. A friend would help me in the situation.
But a sister doesn't because they're
no, but
done.
a sister, they ain't your friends.
Well, it was Alex's wedding. She should have appointed somebody else to come and help you out. It was her day.
I forgive you.
But listen, those are friends. Thank you, Crystal. Shanquella, your friends were not friends.
Yeah, friends who beat
Delano,
the
your
crap
friends.
out of you whenever you're naked and afraid.
No.
Mm-mm.
So, those are just two stories that hit me.
You know.
By the way, we are drinking we're brown bagging it today. So if you hear that, it's because we're real classy.
Yeah.
And we got some Corona refrescas that none of you bought. So thanks for nothing.
Yeah. Thanks. We're just over here drinking real classy.
Real classy.
Real broke.
San Diego.
But we love you. Keep listening.
Keep listening. Go rate, review, and subscribe.
Yeah, rate good rates and good reviews.
We will see y'all next week in a couple days for a full episode. Go to our Facebook page, our Instagram page.
Yep.
If you need to email us a story, the story that came out last week, the Jessica story, was recommended by a listener. So we love those recommendations. Email us one of your favorite stories. Don't forget to
Stay aware.
stay alive.
And always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.